Hello everyone, we are back. I promised you a tutorial and I will give you the tutorial. Someone asked about a jacket that you can open under the last video that I did in the tutorial series, which was about morphs. So today I'm going to show you a very basic jacket that I did out of the Genesis 2 female full body suit. I'm going to show you how I make the zipper, how I open this jacket with a morph. So this is what I would do if I wanted to have a jacket that I could open, and I will actually show you a few of the limitations that there are with this. So setup is the following. We have the jacket, which is the jacket form. We have a group of edges, which is the edges for the jacket, and you can see in a second that these are not closed, they are open. So the inside of the jacket, where the zipper would be, that doesn't have an additional edge, which is fine because we will cover it with the zipper. So the last thing we have is this Form 11, which is right now a flat surface, a flat grid with 3 faces on the horizontal axes or horizontal rows, and quite a few lines or quite a few faces on the vertical dimension. And I'm going to show you how to make the zipper from this. First we're going to select the whole side of this, and now additionally I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to select every second face in the middle row. You already can see where this is going, more or less. I'm going to cut this for the zipper, or not cut, but I'm going to use a vertex modeling tool, which is the extract tool, which will pull out the selected faces. So now that I have Form 11 and Form 12, both sides of the zipper independently, I can work with this. The rest is very, very simple. We're going to select Form 11 and Form 12. We're going to use the thickening tool found under surface modeling. We are going to make this about 0.02, actually 0.03 thick. Hit accept. And we are going to move this back just a bit, just this much, which is basically all we have to do. Finally, we're going to just iterate on the edges here. We're going to make this invisible so we can work easier on the simple parts. Grab the edges, go around one time and hit, let me redo that, hit the connect tool, which gives an additional edge. So we're going to recheck in the tools again. Now we're going to switch over to the other form, the other side of the zipper. Select one of the edges on the side, right click and select ring, which is what I'm usually doing. I'm just pressing K for this, and you see connect tool, which I have usually under Alt+A. So for the tools I use a lot, I have my own custom keybinds at this point. Yeah, we're grabbing both forms, doing a first smoothing to see how this looks, and this is absolutely fine for me. This works perfectly with what I want to do. So we are going to leave it at that. Okay, going to hit save, Control S, just file and save. And now we're going to remove the Genesis to female. I do not have any maps on this yet, so we're going to very quickly add some maps to this. Just hold shift to add some lines. So this is the line that I will cut this piece open on. Actually, I do not need the back one because the front is already open. So I'm just going to cut up the arms and open them so I have a better UV map. We're going over to surface modeling and we're going over to UV and paint. And you see the little icon with the head, which is called unfold. We're going to click that, which opens the UV view. We already did that in another tutorial. We're going to click in the properties on the head, unfold with current settings, which selects the selector, which uses the selected edges as the seams for this. And this is an absolutely deserving and worthy UV map. I would even actually think this is symmetrical, almost symmetrical. Definitely good enough for what we are going to do with this, because it's just a tutorial exercise. That's step one. We're going to click in new in the materials, and we're going to call this jacket, if I can type correctly. We are going to grab all the edges. We are going to give these a cubic projection, which is a very simple form. And we are going to call this edges of the jacket. Now the jacket has a very simple form. The edges have a very simple UV map and material. We are going to grab the two zipper parts. We're going to add another cubic projection. Accept this. Click on new material because we want both in the same material. We call this zipper. Accept. And this is all the preparation that we need with this. Very simple, very streamlined. We're going to remove the Genesis to female material. We're going to remove the empty materials, file, save, and export wavefront object. In the tutorial, we're calling this jacket. Again, if I can type correctly, it's an OBJ. Usual safe ideas, and we're going to switch over to Daz Studio. I have Genesis to female in here. I'm going to import the jacket, edit object transfer utility, and I'm going to put this on Genesis to female as a jacket. It is going to be a shirt projection template, and we're done. I'm going to give this a very simple color. We're going to color the jacket green so it is easier to see. We're going to color the zipper with a metallic shader just for the detail. It's not gonna be very pretty, but it doesn't have to be, and the edges are going to be green. Also, we're going to make these matte so it is not as hard on the eye, even though this doesn't really matter in the texture shaded version that we're currently using. Okay, this is the preparation that we need. Just so we can check this, I'm going to strike a simple pose, and yeah, the jacket moves with the figure. So we are all set up for the first part. This is just the jacket model that I just saved there, so you saw me do that. Step 2, is a bit more complicated and a bit more in detail. We are going to grab our jacket. I'm going to just very quickly add a simple texture onto this with my base colors. So we're going to make this just a formal gray so we can see it, accept. And next we're going to grab the whole jacket, actually going into the select points editor mode, and we are going to move the jacket in the open position that we want right now. So we're going to grab all the points that we can, which is quite a lot. This is the edge of the this is the, not the edge, but the corner point of the jacket. I'm just looking for a good perspective. I think I'm going to switch back to 4 views, which doesn't work, so it crashes. Okay, that's fine. Let's just run it up again. Open the jacket file, recent files. There should be the jacket somewhere here. There it is. Okay. Add the, I'm going to make this blue. Okay. I'm going to save this again, just in case. Okay, let's try this again. We are going to go into point view, grab all the points on the corner, and just move these. I moved this a bit in front, now I'm moving this a bit over where I want it to. Move this a bit out. And now this is basically me selecting more and more points to make this look natural. So far I haven't found a tool that could do that for me, sadly. And I think I'm going to actually have to start at a different piece of this, at a different point of this. Let me grab a few more points. We are going to move all this, probably. This looks about right. Going to unselect these points and add these. So we're going to move this forward a bit, and we're going to move this down a bit. Now we're going to deselect a few of the points, move the others forward and downwards, and I think we're going to get to the shape where we wanted to where we wanted to be. So select, deselect these, probably move. Wait, now we're going to have to deselect a lot of points because this is very, very detail or point heavy at some parts. Okay, looks good. We're going to move this a bit further out. So yeah, this is quite a bit of work actually at this point. At least if you want to do it right. This is just for a demonstration, so I'm not going to take that or super much effort with it. But yeah, this is still a lot of stuff to do. Okay. We are going to deselect this point and all of these. Move the corner out a bit more, lose this one, and we are basically done with the jacket. Not really, we have to realign part of the upper edge because I forgot to give it a symmetry, so my fault. But this is not that big of a problem, I think. Yeah. We are going to move all these pieces. I need to do this in left view though. In the right direction, which is where we will need a bit more of the perspective view. But yeah, this is basically making sure that all the points still align, more or less, that everything looks kind of how it's supposed to. At some points you will lose a bit of the overview that you usually have, which is not that bad. It is just how things work with this. Yeah, the only thing that you cannot do is actually just go and delete parts of this, because you would mess up your whole thing. Okay, let's grab the last few points here, move them in the right direction. And we are almost done with this. If I would use this model for myself in any of the renders, I would most likely just redo this from the start. So basically grab all the points again, redo this so it actually with the symmetry set, so that I do not have to do this manually like right now. But I forgot it, so my fault. Okay, we did the jacket. It looks okay-ish for the fact that I just had to wing this. And I'm going to grab the zipper next. Go into faces select. In this case, I can do points again if I want to, but I can also do faces. And I think faces might be a bit easier to see at least what I'm doing. So we are going to grab these faces, move them so that we actually see what we are doing. Reselect the faces, and this is why I didn't put these in a group or in the same group as the jacket. I could have put one of them into the group and had half the work, but actually I wanted to show how I'm doing this, so this was actually intentional, believe me. I'm going to skip ahead with this a bit in the fast mode, so you can actually see this in sped up, in faster motion. So I'll have you on voice again right after I'm done with all this. Okay, here we are again. This is the somewhat changed shape of the whole thing. It is definitely not perfect, but for what we are going to try to do, it works absolutely fine. We're going to save this as a new thing over in the same folder with a tutorial jacket _ open as a Hexagon file. We are going to then export this as a reference object in the same folder as jacket _ open object. Save. And now we're going to switch back to Daz Studio. So far so good. We're going to grab our jacket. We are going to go under edit, object, and upload or start the Morph Loader Pro, which looks the same as last time. We are going to choose the morph file, which in this case is in this folder. Jacket open is the morph file that we just created. The custom upload scale should be 1000% like the import scale. There is no axis conversion. There will be simple vertex only content, and we're going to hit accept. It says loading morph jacket open, created morph successfully. Okay, so we're going to check out how this works, and I can promise you, or almost promise you, that this will look weird and that we will have the issue of having a bit of clipping in between. I'm very sure of that. So we're going to grab parameters, morphs, we're going to scale it up, and we have the morph that we had. You can do this as far as you want. If you want to have it go to the complete bottom of the jacket, you can do that. I do not recommend trying to close the jacket, over close the jacket, so we're going to go to parameter settings, and set the minimum value to 0, accept, and now you can open the jacket. And this actually looks better, to be honest, than expected. What it doesn't do, as you can see, it opens the jacket right at the split part where we actually part, so you can't make a very simple morph that would open the jacket downwards. You can kind of work it out, but not really. Also, I didn't add a zipper holder or the one thing you pull down. You can simply build that yourself and then load it in and then just move it along the figure wherever you want it. But yeah, this is how I would go on about the idea of making a morph for an opening jacket, so you don't have to model both kinds of jackets, and you can just save it as one model instead. Yeah, and that's it for this video. I hope this answers the question. I hope this helps you, and I will see you guys in the next one.